This is a KUNV Studios original program. Live from Las Vegas. This is the Smooth Jazz Radio. Top 20 Countdown.
Hello, everyone. This is Pamela Black, and I'll be hanging with you live from the Public Radio KUNV Studios in the fabulous city of Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. We're going to be grooving with the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown, and each week we'll be counting down the biggest songs in the smooth jazz format according to airplay from stations across America. And we're going to be setting a cool vibe for your atmosphere. So this weekend, we have a special guest for the holiday weekend, multi-instrumentalist Shaun LaBelle.
Hi, this is Shaun LaBelle, and I'm Pamela Black's co-host for this weekend for the Thanksgiving edition of the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
So this week, let's jump right into it with our groove. Here is our near miss from last week. He's coming in at number 20. Here's trumpeter Tom Browne with his brand new release, Impulse. This is Pamela Black on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
number 19.
Was our number 19 song, Brown Sugar, by keyboardist Nicholas Cole. And now our number 18 with guitarist Adam Hawley with his release, Fly By. This is Pamela Black on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
number 17.
And that was our number 17 song, Loving You is Easy by Tony Saunders. If you're just joining me, I'm your host, Pamela Black, for the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown. And now we're at our number 16. Here's saxophonist Vincent Ingala with his single release, Movin' and Shakin', on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown. And that was our number 16 song, Movin and Shakin by saxophonist Vincent Ingala. And now it's time for this week's Near Miss. And coming in at number 21, and he was our near miss about 3 weeks ago, here's saxophonist Jarez with his release Coming Back Around featuring Julian Vaughn. This is Pamela Black, and it's this week's Near Miss on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
More of the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown is next. Back to the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown. I'm your host, Pamela Black, and we're going to continue setting this cool vibe and bringing it all together through music as we kick off our Top 15. So let's jump right into it with saxophonist Walter Beasley with his single release, Funk Foot, on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
Number 14.
was our number 14 song, Strollin, by guitarist Norman Browne. Let's keep grooving with this week's number 13. Here's Catavento by Ritenour and Dave Grusin. This is Pamela Black on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
Number 12.
This is Pamela Black, your host of the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown, and we are so close to the Top 10 and our featured Artist of the Week, which I truly enjoy sharing a nice variety of a surprise musician with you each week. And this week, Shaun LaBelle will be joining us for the featured artist. So let's get our groove on first with this week's number 11. Here's Moonlight Drive by Paula Atherton on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
I have a great story about an older song of mine. Back in 1990, I had just concluded my duties on a world tour as the bass player and mini-moog bass player for Grammy Award-winning recording artist Jody Watley. I was riding the wave of a hit record, I had just written for multi-platinum MCA recording artist The Jets. Right after tour, I was fortunate to be signed as a staff writer and producer for Warner Chappell Music, which is Warner Brothers Music in Los Angeles. Shortly after being signed, Randy Jackson, American Idol fame, took an immediate interest in me as a songwriter and producer and put me together with an incredible writer named Steve Grissett from Chicago. Randy and I met Steve over at Madonna keyboardist Hawk Walensky's house in Hollywood Hills. Steve and I had an immediate connection and started writing on Hawk's grand piano while Randy Jackson and Hawk were chit-chatting in the kitchen. I sat down at the piano and Steve and I wrote on the spot this current Billboard smash of mine, Your Love Kept Calling My Name. 30 years later, here we are. We were blessed to be enjoying the ride of one of the biggest jazz vocal tracks of the year. I decided last year I wanted to record Your Love Kept Calling My Name for my own project. And I guess it was the right decision, a song that has touched so many people around the globe.
Before I walked right into new love, and I always wanted to play love hard, but boy, with you it was not enough. You had something so for real, love so strong it made my heart stand still. You've changed my point of view from taking all I could get to giving my all to you. Telling the past to let go and let love lead the way, baby. You handed me love's call, and now love is gonna stay. I never wanted to go too far before I left one more broken heart. Yeah, yeah. From out of nowhere came your sweet love to show me just where our love could start. You wanted me to see that I was only looking out for me. I owe so much to you for taking all that I gave until I could see the truth. The truth. Your love kept calling my name. My name. My name. Oh, my name, baby. My name. Oh, you kept calling me day and night, and I love it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, baby, you touch me with the right key to unlock the best of me. I'm yours completely, and I love it, love it. Calling me, whoa, baby, you and me. No, no, no. It's our destiny. Calling your name, baby.
Smooth Jazz Radio, Top 20. This is a KUNV Studios original program. Live from Las Vegas. This is the Smooth Jazz Radio. Top 20 Countdown.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pamela Black, and we're coming to you live from the public radio KUNV Studios in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. We've been grooving with the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown according to airplay from stations across America. And we're going to continue with these awesome grooves. And if you're just joining me, we do have an in-studio special guest today, multi-instrumentalist and composer Shaun LaBelle. So we're going to jump right into this week's number 10. Here's saxophonist Steve Cole with his single release, 1-2, on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
number 9.
And that was this week's number 9 song, Patches Groove, by guitarist Les Sabler. This is Pamela Black, and we're going to keep our flow going with this week's number 8. Here's Dave Koz and Adam Hawley with Automatic on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
number 7.
That was our number 7 song, Slide, by saxophonist Boney James. Let's keep rolling with this week's number 6. Here's AOS with their single release, Where We Belong. This is Pamela Black on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
Also back in 1990, I had just finished writing this really cool song with Steve Grissett once again, called Remember My Love. My publisher at Warner Brothers, Rochelle Fields, who signed Anita Baker, immediately fell in love with the song. She pitched the song to one of the greatest of all time, George Duke. George was producing this young new sax player that had just arrived on the scene, Everette Harp. George thought the song was perfect for Everette to cut on his very first record. George asked Rochelle who produced it and played all the parts. Rochelle said, I did, and George was so impressed. You have to realize that growing up, my idols were Jeff Lorber, Patrice Rushen, and George Duke. All three have become close friends and people I have now worked with. My phone rang this particular afternoon, and I answered the phone, and this person on the other end said it was George Duke. I immediately thought it was my older brother Lance, who is also an amazing musician, playing a joke on me, so I hung up the phone on him. The phone rang again, and it was the same voice once again. I said, Lance, stop, I'm really busy, and I hung up the phone on him again. It rang one more time. This time the caller made a reference to a song of mine, and I soon realized that this was not my brother. I was stunned that this was actually George Duke, inviting me to come record at his studio with him. We immediately hit it off, and I've been blessed to work with Everette on multiple records as a writer-producer. What an honor to be treated with such high regard by both Everette Harp and my friend George Duke, who I miss dearly.
Remember,
More of the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown is next. Back to the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pamela Black, and we've made it to our top 5. And this is a part of the countdown that I relish because we get to see what you, the listener, is really enjoying. So I'm happy to share with you this saxophonist who's absolutely incredible, Marcus Anderson, with his latest release, Any Way You Want It. This week's number 5 on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown.
Number 4.
And that was our number 4 song, Happy Hour by Michael Broening. And now, this week's number 3. Here's Very Delicious by saxophonist Richard Elliot. This is Pamela Black on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown. And that was our number 3 song, Very Delicious, by Richard Elliot. And now this week's number 2. Here's Upgrade by saxophonist Jasmine Hint. This is Pamela Black on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown. And that was our number 2 song, Upgrade, by saxophonist Jasmine Hint. And now, the moment we've been waiting for. It's this week's number 1. He's moved from the number 5 slot into the number 1 this week. Here's guitarist Blake Aaron with The Way You Sway. This is Pamela Black, and we're bringing it to you like no other on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown. And that was this week's number one song, The Way You Sway, by guitarist Blake Aaron on the Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown. The Smooth Jazz Radio Top 20 Countdown was recorded in the Public Radio KUNV studios, produced by Jason Beatty and Wes Knight. Assistant producer Miley Palacios. Music compiled by Kim Lindsay. Chart data provided by Mediabase. And of course, hosted by yours truly, Pamela Black. And feel free to reach out to me anytime on Facebook under Pamela Black and Instagram under Pamela's Place. And I'd like to thank all the artists for creating these amazing vibes for us to enjoy. And thank you to each of you for joining me for today's Smooth Jazz Radio's Top 20 Countdown, and hope to see you again next week as we continue to share these amazing grooves. That's going to do it for me this week. It's Pamela Black, and from the host who loves you the most, mounds and mounds of caramel kisses. Shaun LaBelle is going to close out our show today with the artist to watch.
Back in 2022, I was working on the new album, and I knew I had this really, really cool song I just written called Feel the Breeze. But I had a section in the middle that I knew needed that really special feature. And I wanted to do something that was kind of unique and different and maybe bring somebody on the scene we haven't heard from in a while. And I thought right away, who would be really great would be the legendary Patrice Rushen. But here's one problem. I didn't know her. So how do you go about doing that? Just pick up the phone and call her up? I mean, I've done that many times before, but I thought maybe I could think of somebody that might be able to connect me with her. I thought about it for a minute. I went, you know what? Gerald Albright is really tight with her. And Gerald, of course, is like one of my big bros. So I called Gerald on the phone. I said, Gerald, I have this really, really cool song I just finished called Feel the Breeze. And I know that Patrice Rushen would be really amazing on this song, but I know she doesn't do features. This would be very unique. It would be an aberration for her to do this. Do you have any way to connect me? And he said, hey, give me 15 minutes. And I was like, what? Well, 15 minutes later, he called me back and he said, call Patrice. She wants to do it. I was like, you're kidding me, right? He's like, no, she wants to do it. And he said, this is really, really unique because she just does not do features, but she wants to do this track. I was like, wow. I picked up the phone and I called her. I was a little nervous because I'd never met her, and I don't generally get nervous after being in this industry for as many decades as I am, but I was kind of starstruck because you got to realize when I was a kid, I was front row at her concert in Minneapolis when I was 17 years old, in awe of this woman. She's in that class of Herbie and McCoy and Chick, and she's going to go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. She was so gracious. She was so cool. The solo turned out amazing, and she even called me the next day to say, hey, am I cool with it? And I'm like, are you kidding me? She says, well, you can cut some things out if you want to. And I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to cut anything out. And we didn't. And that's a great segue into what I think is a great time to spin my cut, Feel the Breeze, featuring Patrice Rushen, right here on 91.5 Jazz and More.
Smooth Jazz Radio, Top 20.